Morning everybody, Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley Garage. We've been doing some work on the codes on the Jeep and ran into something that I think you might be interested in. As a matter of fact, two things. When we went ahead and put the module back in the center console for the SRS Airbag system, and as you may remember from the earlier videos I did, this is the center console right here. The SRS Airbag Module lives underneath the cup holders right here. So there's 4 bolts that can get that out, and you can just take and raise it up. When we put that back in and put the battery back on, we got two new codes saying that the seatbelt retractors were open. And the seatbelt retractors are these guys right here. They live down in the door jamb here. This one right here is the one that we had rebuilt. So we went ahead and we took this connector apart. And when you take the connector apart, to keep anything weird from happening from this little charge right here, because this charge blows when you get in an accident, and it locks this reel. Okay, so that's a reason you have to have it rebuilt, but this is the only line on there. So when you take this off, this has a shorting bar across it. So if you want to take and check this, you have to use a very low current ohm meter, something like this. This one right here actually works fine. So we went ahead and we probed the 2 pins that are out of here, and then we took another probe and we lifted up the shorting bar, and it's running about 1.5 ohms, and that'll be on both of the seatbelt retractors. Okay. So the code we were getting was for both left and right seatbelt retractors were being open. So that is just really an impossibility, for that to happen. So what we did is we thought that this module right here, which was sending the code, was not seeing the seatbelt retractor modules. So what we did is we went into here and we took all these connectors apart, snapped them apart. This one right here is for the seat. This is just continuation on into the jamb. It goes to the front. It takes and handles some stuff up there. But we took all the connectors apart and we used contact cleaner on them and everything. And sure enough, both codes went away. Okay. So when you have a situation where you just have weird codes take and pop up like that, you have to take and the first thing that you have to take and look at is your connectors. So believe it or not, after we did clean all the connectors and everything, that's on both sides, and we cleaned the connectors for the seats and then plugged all those up and everything, the codes are actually gone. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we got a code from the HVAC system. When we got the vehicle, there is a module that lives actually behind the glove box for recirculating the cabin air, and the actuator on that was broken. So we went ahead and we pulled it apart, and we called up Mopar and said, how much is an actuator for this blend door actuator for the recirculation air? And they said it was $94. So we were just checking on the website this morning, and they're looking at $67. Well, AutoZone has a Dorman part for about $26. So you'd probably be thinking, okay, the part is a part, and no, a part is not a part. It turns out that the mechanism by which the body control module looks at the blend doors when they take and reach full travel is different in the dormant part than it is in the Mopar part. And you will get an error code with the dormant part saying that you're getting over travel in your blend doors. So basically everything is working, however, it's just throwing an error code saying that the dormant part is not indexing properly. Basically, the way they tell when they've reached full position, either open or closed, there is a circuit in the body control module that looks at the draw of the current. So when it gets to the point where it's at maximum travel, the motor will stop and it'll start drawing more current, and it'll say, oh, okay, it's at maximum travel, so I'm going to stop now. And it turns out that the dormant parts have a different motor in there than the Mopar motor does, and that's the reason you get that error code, is because the current reading is off. Okay, so we're pretty much done with this vehicle. We're still waiting for the rock sliders, and I got to call them today, find out what's going on. But we got to put the vehicle back together. That'll be an hour or so, and put the seats back in it. Take the seats out, make it easier to get into the center console. But yeah, I think we're in good shape. We're going to start the battle with the DMV registration process and all that kind of stuff. We don't expect that's going to be very pretty, but the work on the Jeep JK is pretty much done. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the paperwork and stuff, and thank you for coming by and seeing our little update here, what's going on. And thank you for all your subscriptions and your likes and your comments. We love to see all that. We respond to as many of them as we can, and we really appreciate all of our loyal viewers. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you next time.